After all my wild, wild thoughts about what went on in Paris, I thought a little bit of culture might be nice. I got on a sightseeing boat, a trip around the Seine River. Oh, you've heard of it. Probably in those wonderful old horror movies. You know, The Phantom of the Left Bank. Anyway, the guide told me something I almost didn't believe. We always think of the Seine as a little river winding its way through Paris. But did you know that little old river is 480 miles long? It goes all the way to the English Channel. Off in the distance on a houseboat, well, it was just too cute for words. I hoped he wasn't going to spank her when he caught her. Not in the city of love. There are nicer things to do than spank a girl. Oui? It was a lovely trip. Ah, Paris. If only I'd been lucky enough to be born here. Je m'appelle Jayne Mansfield. I just had to go over and have a look at the Arc de Triomphe. Did you know that in 1806, Napoleon got the whole thing started? That's right. He had sort of kicked the stuffing out of everybody else in Europe and decided to let the rest of the world remember what he did. Oh, it's so grand going into a strange city and having people come up to you and say, Jane, give us your autograph, okay? Well, I'd had enough of the sightseeing bit. I went through the gate which said, keep out, don't enter. What the heck, I thought, live a little. This was my secret passage to the Paris underground world. That night, I went off alone to a way-out nightclub. It was Chez Michaud, very in at the time. They said that everybody in the place was homosexual. That is, the people in girls' clothes were supposed to be girls. Oh, it was just too darn confusing. I just couldn't believe that some of those sweet-looking girls could possibly be men. And these two cute boys, believe it or not, are girls. I'm a little confused about these two.
And with this rhythm that's country stain, all the cats are howling to the jungle twist. Nobody knows when they started the twist. Somebody said that it came from the west. You never know when it...
Then, two of the girls, I thought, came over. They just gushed over me and admired my figure. One of them said she was just green with jealousy. I laughed. I figured I was going through a great put-on.
Whether you take it as fiction or fact, no, the cats are twisting to the jungle twist.
We were comparing hairdos. Then what do you think happened? I flipped. And here I was going to ask her to show me to the ladies' room. This, well, I think it was a boy, asked me to dance. What could I do? After all, a movie star is supposed to be a sophisticate.
and all the tom-toms were beating like mad. Whether you take it as fiction or fact,
I think it was a guy. By the next morning, when I got out into the street, I tuned into some of the funny stuff which went on in Paris. Like this little scene I saw right off the Champs-Élysées. It was a lesson in the life and times of your average Parisian. These men were solicited, waiting for customers, just like those girls in Rome. Only these men were waiting for men. You've heard of Irma Ledouce. You might call this scene Pierre Ledouce. They like to drive a hard bargain here, too. I realize that everybody has a price in this world. Then I had to chuckle. Ooh la la, Paris. That chic girl, probably a patroness of the arts. And the boy, all he was interested in was the girl. Her form, her hair, her... Good for her. She doesn't stand still for that kind of baloney. Parisian girls have their pride. Oh, no. This is too much. And then there was this other scene which just sort of broke me up. I've seen guys try to pick up girls, but the same sex? Well, it was kind of fun to watch. In a way, I hoped the poor jerk would make it. Wanting to get away from the sorry sights I had just seen, I took a cab over to Montmartre. This is the center of painting in Paris, and you all know that Paris and painting are man and woman. One can't exist without the other. All the great painters have lived for a while in Montmartre. You know, you can pick up something from an unknown which could be worth thousands later on. This one artist asked me to pose for a sketch. Why not, I figured. I might even wind up in a museum someday. He was cute. I'll bet he had more than one girlfriend hanging on to him. Artists in Paris lead very bohemian lives. Oh, brother,